In a recent survey, More magazine found that women need more out of a job than just a good salary and benefits. 98% of women polled said they wanted a job that was meaningful, while 87% were looking for a position with a high level of freedom. But finding a job that fits the criteria can be challenging, especially in today's job market. Luckily, More magazine pounded the pavement for us, and editor Jennifer Braunschweiger is here to tell us what they found. Hello, and Jennifer, welcome to Good Money.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So somehow I'm not surprised that women want more out of a job than just a good salary and benefits. I mean, we have a lot going on in our lives, so it would make sense that the qualifications we're looking for in a job are equally complex. What were the criteria that you looked at when you found this list?
Well, we conducted a survey of 500 women nationwide and asked them what qualities they thought made a great job. And as you said, meaning was by far and away the most important one. But they're also looking for flexibility, the chance to work a different kind of schedule. They're looking for a job in a growing field. They're looking for a degree of control or autonomy. They want to be a little bit independent. So we, looked at a whole bunch of jobs to try to figure out which ones would meet their needs.
Now, I'm assuming some of the flexibility stems from the fact that a lot of women are mothers, or at this point, perhaps even grandmothers, and you're looking at midlife. So there's a need for some flexibility there, I'd imagine.
Absolutely, or maybe they're looking after aging parents.
Right. Totally makes sense. All right, let's get to your list. So first you say a community service coordinator or manager. Why is this job so appealing?
Well, this one is off the charts in terms of meaning. You can do this job in any number of different ways. Perhaps you're organizing volunteers, you may be working for the county, but at its heart, whatever you're doing is finding help for people in need, and that's very important to women.
Absolutely. And any idea what the salaries might be?
Well, all of the jobs that we looked at are well above the national average for women aged 40 to 59, which is $33,000 a year.
Sounds good.
All of these jobs are significantly more than that.
Great. And now the next one on your list is a personal finance advisor, some of what we do here.
Sure.
So why is this one so good?
Well, it won't come as any surprise to you to hear that people are really looking for good, unbiased financial advice right now. So there's a real need for this kind of information. Also, this is a good job for people who are changing careers. That's something we encounter all the time at More. Women in midlife are often looking to reinvent, and this is a job that you could really reinvent into.
What kind of training do you need before you can do this
Well,
job?
you do need some schooling. There are some tests that you have to pass. But for instance, one of the women we talked to, who's a personal financial advisor, had been taking some classes at night towards an MBA and really discovered a passion for this, and so continued with those sorts of classes.
And I'd imagine there's a certain amount of flexibility because you work on a client basis, correct? Is that how you?
Sure. I think there's a lot of different ways into this job.
All right. Okay, great. Now the next one is fascinating. Environmental scientist. This is obviously a field that's booming right now, the environment. So how does one become an environmental scientist?
Yeah. Well, this is not a job for career changers, really. This is more for somebody who has some science background and maybe is looking to sharpen her skills in one way or another. As you point out, it's really a growing field. And another nice thing about this field is that you can practice it in any number of different ways. It is geographically sensitive, so you kind of need to go to where the work is. If you're studying water quality, you're not going to work in Las Vegas, probably.
Right.
But
unless you're studying the lack of it.
Sure. There you go.
But so where are the hubs? Where are these jobs located?
Well, all over, but it just depends. What kind of environmental science you're practicing would depend on where you are. So one person we talked to works on air quality in California. They have very strong regulations there. She's helping help companies meet the requirements that the government has set there.
Fascinating job that I can also see would definitely fulfill the requirement for meaningful work.
Sure, you feel like you're helping the world.
Absolutely. Now, registered nurse is next on your list. We keep hearing how the health field is a great field to go into. There's just an unlimited need, it seems.
Yes, and one of the nice things about being a registered nurse is that you can do it in many different kinds of environments and with many different kinds of schedules. So one of the women we talked to who was a registered nurse said that that she chose the night shift on purpose so that she could see her kids during the day. So that really worked for her. And she had also been all over the map. She'd worked in a neonatal intensive care unit. She was now working in a hospice situation. So she had been able to practice her job in all sorts of different ways, which kept her from being bored.
Absolutely. And it's sort of like journalism in the scheduling. There's night shifts, weekend shifts, take your pick, early morning shifts.
But it's a growing field.
That's right, the difference. All right, now what about computer and information systems manager? That also made your list.
Sure. This is a job that you can practice for any kind of company. So everybody needs an IT person. It is a fairly intense job, so you're problem solving all the time, but you can telecommute. You may be able to do it on your own schedule, and women report that they really enjoy the autonomy that and the control that they have there. So, for instance, one woman we spoke to had developed a niche putting together computer systems for law firms, and when it came to the computers at the law firm she worked for, she was it, and she really enjoyed that sense of control.
That sounds great. You can definitely sort of control your destiny there. Now, this next job makes perfect sense for women who have been teachers and perhaps want to make the next step, education administrators. Why is that preferable to staying in the teaching world?
Well, one thing that I hear from midlife women all the time that I think is pretty interesting is that sometimes in midlife, when your kids are a little older, your ambition comes back. So, you know, some women need a lot of flexibility because they do have a lot of demands on their time. Other women really feel like now it's time for me, and I'm going to really take off in my career. And so this is a great job for that. So maybe somebody has been a teacher for many years and now she's ready to really take it to the next level and do, you know, have a bigger managerial role, that kind of thing. One woman we spoke to described it perfectly. She said, it's like managing a Broadway play where you spend the summer doing the hiring and the scheduling, and then the school year is the show.
And sounds perfect. And on that note, Jennifer, thank you so much. What a great list.
ABC News Now. Good to know.